All right then, folks, let's take a trip down memory lane. Now, I know the minute you saw this, the nostalgia kicked in and you were immediately, transported to watching 4 o'clock cartoons and so on. And here's the thing, it was actually pretty fun, but that has changed and I'm gonna tell you why. So there's this report from the Concerned Women for America, and the title is LGBTQ Message Pervasive in Netflix Children's Programming. And that's what, the concern that I'm here to share with you, that they're not just after your mind, they're after the kids' mind, for the simple reason that if you can, get children when they're young and impressionable to believe whatever you want them to believe, then they'll just carry on those beliefs in their adulthood. Listen, and here's what they found. They found over 40%, that's right, over 40% of children's shows, this is be it movies or series that are directly marketed to children, carry this LGBTQ plus themes.
I'm trans, Norma.
Use a different name and pronouns.
He's the undisputed champion of my heart.
Welcome to your crash course in holiday self-expression.
If you're wondering why weren't they in all of those earlier cartoons from the 1990s and the 2000s, that's because it's a recent trend. Here's another graph in the same report that shows from 2010 is when the whole messaging started, and you can literally see the spike, especially in the explicit part. They're not even simply implying these themes, they're explicitly telling children. What does that translate to, you ask? Well, you can already see it in the data because look at every other demographic, from the baby boomers to the Gen X's to the millennials. There is hardly any change, yeah? There's a little bit of a change in the millennials, but then there's a huge spike from the Gen Zs. And because they're the ones who are primarily targeted from this, and I don't know what will happen with latter generations, and that's the reason why I'm making this video. Cartoons are no longer just cartoons. They're no longer just harmless television that you put on to, pass time and have fun. They're the new, propaganda machine to indoctrinate children into believing this weird, progressive, woke agenda that is utterly nonsense. And it's the modern version of a Trojan horse, as shown here, and pretty much you should be very careful about not just what you watch, but what your kids are watching. And because at the end of the day, this is just another way to control the population, to reduce the population, because that's the elite's agenda. Why? That's probably another video for another day. But until now, we know how biology works, and this right here is fighting against our own biology.